Hey there designers! Renee here with a Photoshop tutorial for a nature hike poster. We'll create a realistic wood sign using a variety of styles, photos, and brushes. Follow along by downloading the freebie pack at designcuts.com. This freebie pack includes a wealth of inspirational resources from Go Faster Labs, Graphic Spirit, Group Brushes, Julia Dreams, Mix Pixbox, and Pixel Buddha. Open Photoshop and go to File New. In the New Document dialog box, name your file, then enter a width of 18 inches and a height of 24 inches. Set your resolution to 300 ppi and your color mode to RGB, then press OK to create the document. Go to File, Place Linked. Navigate to the Mix Pixbox folder and select 2.jpg. Press Place. Hold Shift and use the corner handles to increase the size until it fills the entire artboard, and then press Enter when you're done. Double-click the foreground swatch at the bottom of the toolbar. In the color picker pop-up, enter RGB values of 80, 160, 188, then press OK. Now select the Brush tool. Open the Tool Presets panel. In the Finder window, or the File Explorer window on a PC, navigate to the Group Brushes folder. Select the Art Shard file and drag it from the window into the Tool Presets panel in Photoshop. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Create a New Layer icon. Double-click the layer name and rename it Blue Paintbrush. In the Tool Presets panel, make sure to select the Art Shard brush. Press the right bracket key several times to increase the size to about 1600 pixels. Now click on the artboard and drag around to create brushed areas. Create a rough vignette shape around the center of the artboard. Next, go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to the Go Faster Labs folder. Select Watercolor Text 07 and press Place. Hold Shift and use the corner handles to increase the size until the watercolor texture covers the entire artboard with no edges showing, and then press Enter. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Effects icon and select Color Overlay. In the Layer Style pop-up, select a blend mode of screen with opacity at 100%. Click the color swatch and in the color picker, enter RGB values of 55, 175, 210. Click OK on the color picker, then click OK on the Layer Style. At the top of the Layers palette, change the opacity to 60%. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Wreath 1 in the Julia Dreams folder, and press Place. At the top of the artboard, increase the width to 40%, then click the link icon between width and height to maintain the aspect ratio. Position in the open area where we avoided painting and press Enter. At the top of the Layers palette, change the blend mode to multiply and the opacity to 50%. Our last step for the background will be to add some clouds at the top of the poster. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Create a New Layer icon. Double-click the layer name and rename it Clouds. Select the Brush tool, and just like we did with the Art Shard brush, navigate to the Group Brushes folder in Finder or File Explorer, and this time drag both the Cloud Cotton and Cloud Griffin files into the Tool Presets panel in Photoshop. In the Tool Presets panel, select the Cloud Griffin brush. Press the right bracket key several times to increase the size to about 2000 pixels. Lastly, for setup, press D to change the current swatch foreground color to black and the background color to white, then press X to toggle so white is your foreground color. Click at the top of the artboard and drag to create soft, subtle clouded areas. You'll have to drag across the same area a few times. In the tool presets, switch to Cloud Cotton. Again, with this one, we'll press the right bracket key several times to increase the size to about 1600 pixels. This brush is going to give us much heavier clouds, so as you can see, you don't really want to swipe across. Instead, click in a single spot, then move and click again. Do this until you've gradually built up a realistic layer of clouds across the top of the artboard. In the Layers palette, select the layer name 2, then hold Shift and select the Clouds layer to select everything in between. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Create a New Group icon, double-click the name of the group and rename it Background. Now click the Create a New Group icon again. Name the new group Wooden Sign. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Badge Label 3 in the Graphic Spirit folder and press Place. At the top of the artboard next to Width, enter 48% and click the link icon, then press Enter. Position the badge just above the center in the middle of the artboard. In the Layers palette, drag the badge layer into the Wooden Sign group. Open the Styles panel. At the top right of the panel, click the menu icon, then choose Load Styles. Navigate to the Graphic Spirit folder and select Woody Styles Freebies, then click Load. In the Styles palette, find the style called Wood 3 and click to apply it to the badge. In the Layers palette under Badge Label 3, double-click Pattern Overlay. Increase the scale to 100%. On the left side of the Layer Style pop-up, click on Drop Shadow. Reduce the opacity to 60%. Increase distance to 40 pixels and size to 30 pixels. Now click on Bevel and Emboss. Increase the depth to 40% and the size to 50 pixels. Then press OK. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Create a New Layer icon. Double-click the layer name and rename it Inset Frame. Hold Command, and in the Layers palette, click the thumbnail image on the badge layer to create a selection around it. Go to Select, Modify, Contract. Enter 100 pixels and click OK. Press Option Backspace to fill the selection with the foreground color, which is white. Again, go to Select, Modify, Contract. This time enter 20 pixels and press OK. Press Backspace to delete the color inside the current selection, then press Command D to deselect. In the Styles palette, select Carving 2. This will give us a carved wood look. Next, we'll add some text to our sign. We're going to use Pacifico Regular, a script font readily available online for free. Select the Type tool. Click once at the top middle of the wooden sign and type Join Us for A. Open the Character palette and change the font to Pacifico Regular at 120 point. In the Styles palette, select Carving 2. In the Layers palette, drag the text layer down to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate it. On the artboard, use the Move tool while holding Shift to drag the copy straight down to the bottom of the sign. Select the Type tool and select the copied text on the artboard. Replace it with Through Nature. In the Character palette, reduce the size to 110 point. With the Type tool, click on the wood below the last line and type Learn More at designcuts.com. I'm going to use Hogarth Bold at 36 point. This is a premium font, but any sans serif font with a little hint of playfulness would work for this. In the Styles palette, click Carving 2. Next up, we're going to add some big wooden letters in the middle of the sign. We'll want to use a bold sans serif font. I'm going to use a braid black, but any thick font will work, even Arial black. So with the Type tool, click in the middle of the wooden sign on the artboard and type Hike. In the Character palette, change the font to a braid black at 360 points. In the Styles palette, we'll select Parquet 1. In the Layers palette under Hike, double-click Pattern Overlay and increase the scale to 100%. On the left side, click on Drop Shadow and increase the distance to 20 pixels and the size to 30 pixels. At the bottom left of the Layer Style pop-up, click the Effects icon and choose Color Overlay. Change the blend mode to color and reduce the opacity to 75%. Now click the color swatch to bring up the color picker and enter RGB values of 70, 125, 70. Click OK on the color picker, then click OK on the Layer Styles pop-up. Go to File, Place Linked, and select Nail 21 in the Graphic Spirit folder and press Place. At the top of the artboard, enter a width of 3.5% and click the link icon to maintain the aspect ratio. Then press Enter. Use the Move tool to position the nail at the top left side of the H in Hike. Hold Option and Shift, then click on the nail and drag down to create a duplicate. Holding Option creates the duplicate. Holding Shift allows you to drag just in 45-degree angles, which keeps things nice and straight. Position the duplicate at the bottom left side of the H. In the Layers palette, select both Nail 21 layers. Drag them down to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate them. On the artboard, use the Move tool to drag the copies to the right side of the H. Repeat this same process for each of the remaining letters. You can select the 2 or 4 most recent nail layers in the Layers palette, drag them to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate them, or you can use the Option-Shift technique on the artboard. In the Layers palette, select the topmost nail layer, hold Shift, then select the bottommost nail layer. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Create a New Group icon and name the group Nails. Now we're going to use this handy little trick of applying the style to the entire group instead of the individual nails. With the nails group selected in the Layers palette, go to the Styles palette and select Nail Heads 1. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Rope 1 in the Graphic Spirit folder and press Place. At the top of the artboard, enter a width of 35% and click the link icon. Press Enter, then position at the top right of the artboard so it looks like the sign's hanging from the rope. In the Layers palette, drag Rope 1 to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate it. On the artboard, drag the duplicate to the left side of the wooden sign. In the Layers palette, select both rope layers, and at the bottom of the palette, click the Create a New Group icon, and name the new group Rope Under. Drag the new group below the wooden sign group and above the background group in the Layers palette. Now go to File, Place Linked, and select Rope 9. At the top of the artboard, enter a width of 8% and click the link icon to maintain aspect ratio, then press Enter. In the Layers palette, drag the Rope 9 layer to the very top above the nails group. On the artboard, position the rope knot on the left side about where it looks like the rope would attach to the sign. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Effects icon and choose Drop Shadow. Leave the blend mode on Multiply and Opacity to 100%. Change the distance to 25 pixels, spread to 0, and size to 30 pixels, then press OK. Hold Option-Shift and use the Move tool on the artboard to drag a copy of the knot to the right and position it over the right rope area. Now go to File, Place Linked, and select Nail 9 and press Place. Change the width to 15% and click the link icon, press Enter, then position at the bottom left of the wooden sign. In the Styles palette, select Nail Heads 2. Now hold Option and Shift and use the Move tool on the artboard to drag a copy of the nail to the same relative position on the right side of the sign. To keep it from looking like an exact duplicate, we'll rotate the screw slightly. So go to Edit, Transform, Rotate, then use the corner handles to rotate the screw in any direction as much as you want, and press Enter when you're done. In the Layers palette, select both Nail 9 layers and both Rope 9 layers. At the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Create a New Group icon and name the new group Rope Above. Now we'll fill out the rest of our space with real photos of leaves and flowers. In the Pixel Buddha Freebies folder, open Flower Boom Freebies. In the Layers palette in that file, turn on the Sunflower 3 layer by clicking the empty space to the left of the folder icon. Go to Layer, Duplicate Group. In the pop-up under Destination, choose the main layout file we've been working in and press OK. Go back to the main layout file and use your Move tool to drag the sunflower to the left side of the H in Hike. Back in the Flower Boom file, turn on the Sunflower 2 group, go to Layer, Duplicate Group, and in the pop-up select the main layout file, then press OK. In the main layout file, position the new sunflower after the word Hike towards the bottom of the E. Go back to the Flower Boom file, turn on Flower 7 group, then go to Layer, Duplicate Group, select the main layout file and press OK. In the main layout, position the little green flower above the I in Hike. In Flower Boom, turn on the Flower 10 group and duplicate it to the main layout file. In the main layout file, position Flower 10 at the bottom left corner of the artboard. Hold Option, then click on Flower 10 on the artboard and drag to the right to make a copy. Position this one a little lower. Use the Option Drag technique to make another copy to the right of the last one. In the Layers palette, select the original Flowers 10 group and drag it to the Create a New Layer icon at the bottom of the palette. Go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. On the artboard, drag the reflected copy to the right side of the artboard. Back in the Flower Boom file, duplicate the Leaf 8 group to the main layout file. In the main layout file, drag Leaf 8 to the bottom left of the artboard. Go to Edit, Transform, Rotate, and use the corner handles to rotate the leaf slightly to the left about 10 degrees, then press Enter. In the Layers palette, drag Leaf 8 to the Create a New Group icon, and with the new layer selected, go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. On the artboard, drag the reflected copy to the right bottom corner. In the Flower Boom file, duplicate the Branch 6 group to the main layout file. In the main layout, position Branch 6 in the open space between leaves on the bottom left of the artboard, then duplicate it and drag that over to the right in the other open area. Go to Edit, Transform, Rotate, and use the corner handles to rotate to the left about 35 degrees on that copy, and press Enter when you're done. Now hold Option and drag the branch to the left to create another duplicate and position that one kind of in the middle of the artboard. In the Flowers Boom file, duplicate Sunflower 4 to the main layout file. In the main layout, drag the new sunflower to the bottom left corner. And then in the Layers palette, drag the Sunflower 4 group below the Branch 6 group so it's slightly hidden behind it. In the Layers palette, find the Sunflower 3 group, drag it to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate it, then drag the duplicate group to the very top of the Layers palette so it's above everything else. On the artboard, position the sunflower on the bottom right side with the leaves. Now go into the Flower Boom file one last time. We're going to make a fresh duplicate of Leaf 8 that hasn't been rotated. So go ahead and duplicate that into the main layout file. Position the new Leaf 8 in the middle bottom of the artboard. In the Layers palette, find Sunflower 2 and duplicate that group. Drag the new duplicate to the top of the Layers palette, and position the flower over the leaves in the middle bottom of the artboard. Now we're going to give the illusion of more leaves by adding some color behind the existing photos. In the Layers palette, click the Create a New Layer icon. Name the new layer Extra Leaves. Drag the new layer just above the background group. At the bottom of the toolbar, click the Foreground Color Swatch to open the color picker, and then when it opens, hover over one of the leaf images to see the eyedrop tool. Click on a mid-green color on the leaves to sample it. Then press OK. Now select the Brush tool. At the top left of the artboard, click the downward-facing arrow to the right of the brush thumbnail image, and in the Brush Preset panel that opens, click the Settings icon at the top right of the panel and choose Load Brushes. Navigate to Woody Brushes in the Graphic Spirit folder and press Load. Select the Leaf 6 brush. Press the right bracket on the keyboard several times to increase the size to about 1600 pixels. Then we'll drag the brush along the bottom of the edge of the artboard, moving up just a little as you approach the sides. And you'll see that this gives us a nice variety of sizes and directions. In the Layers palette, duplicate the Flower 10 group. Drag the new duplicate below the wooden sign, above the rope undergroup. On the artboard, position the duplicate over the rope on the top left side of the sign. Now find the original Leaf 8 group and duplicate that. Go to Edit, Free Transform. At the top of the artboard next to Width, enter 75% and click the link icon to maintain aspect ratio. Then press Enter. In the Layers palette, drag the group below the wooden sign group, and then position the little group of leaves at the top left of the wooden sign. In the Layers palette, select the two most recent groups. Drag them to the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate them, then go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. On the artboard, drag the duplicates to the right side of the wooden sign, and then make little adjustments so it doesn't look like an exact copy. Now we need to make sure that people have the information they need to join our nature hike. Select the Type tool and click once at the top middle of the artboard over the clouds. Type Saturdays at 7 a.m., Sunset Park. In the Character palette, change the font to Hogar Bold, or whatever font you used for the Design Cuts text earlier, at 48 point. Click the color swatch on the Character palette, then use the eyedropper to sample a bright sky blue from the background. And then you may need to open your Paragraph palette and select Center Text. For our final step, we're going to brighten up the whole piece just a little bit, since it's a little bit dark. In the Layers palette, select the very top layer or group. Open the Adjustments panel and click the icon for Hue Saturation. In the Properties panel that opens, increase the saturation to +20 and the lightness to +5. And that's it, we're done! Thank you for joining me to create this fun nature hike poster using various layer techniques and tons of styles. I hope you've gotten a sense of the complexity of layer styles and how far they can take you. Whether it's your outcome for this tutorial or something new, head over to our Facebook page and share it with us. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and give us a thumbs up if you liked the tutorial. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/designcuts to get more video tutorials and regular updates, or visit us at designcuts.com. Thanks for watching. Till next time!